Dawn, you said it several times that when Raven's on the floor, y'all win. So did you have to tell her to take over in that last minute where she made the 2 buckets? Was that her decision? Just what was the breakdown there?
No, I didn't. I mean, Ray's a playmaker. I think I did ask her after the game, what was she thinking in that moment? She was like, she was upset that she missed Joyce on a probably one of the easier plays, but she just overthrew the pass. So I guess that meant I'm gonna shoot it and pass it, and she actually delivered. So.
Michael, and then Matt next to you, and then Talia.
Don, Medina hasn't exactly been a three-point shooter to this point in her career. I guess, what have y'all done to work with her to where she had the confidence to, shoot that shot late there in the game?
I mean, we work them. Like our bigs are very capable of making threes, and we're comfortable with them taking the threes because we work them. And she couldn't hit it at a more important time for her and for us, because she got to take something from this game that she's got to feel good about. She's working through some things, and sometimes when players are working through some things, they just got to get to the other side. Okay, the more you wallow in it, the worse it gets. But the more of you just think about just getting through. It may be ugly, it may make you feel bad, but they're all just growing pains. She hasn't been in a situation. It's unfamiliar territory for her regarding big stakes, right? Big game. Everybody's watching. So it takes some time to get used to, and and the way Adele played and had her back, we're getting better. So I hope she could see we're still winning with her not even being at her best. So once she's at her best, maybe the score wouldn't be as tight as it was.
Matt, and then Talia.
Dawn, Raven said this game just came down to the will to win. How proud are you of the fight of your team tonight?
Huge. That's what we thought it would come down to. It's not going to be, we're both setting up plays for us to execute. There'll be some of that throughout the game, but when it really comes down to it, it is making plays. I thought Joyce got some key offensive rebounds, some key tie-ups. It is those plays that really are game-changing, and it gives you the momentum to continue to try to win a game. I thought our crowd was great. They wouldn't let up, and they also willed us to a win.
Talia, and then Steve, then we're going to switch on the other side.
Dawn, after your game against Texas in November, you said you could clearly see the areas where you needed to get better. I'm curious how you'd kind of evaluate your team now in those areas versus where they were in Thanksgiving.
I mean, we was still plagued by some turnovers, some miscues late in the basketball game, or just within the game that could be momentum shifting. Like we couldn't, we just couldn't get to that point where we got over the hump. And we finally did Medina's 3, but that's not kind of what we anticipated that shot being. It is getting stops, it's getting steals, it is, making them play in live ball turnover scenarios, and we just turned it back over. And we gave them plenty of opportunity to increase their lead. What I liked is we won the game just gutting it out, making plays by, different people. It wasn't just one. I thought Tanaya got us off to a great start, just being poised. And then, it was huge for her to attack Jordan Lee in the second quarter, to get her third. So you don't really play as your normal self with 3 fouls in the third and fourth quarters.
Hey, Dawn, Steve Reed with the AP. Kind of a bigger picture season story. Obviously, each team's different. You look back at last year's team, and nobody scored more than 12. I think the highest average was like 12.7. This year, you got 4 players that are above that. It's a different structure, I guess. Why is that? Are you feeling like the starters are obviously playing more minutes? Talk to me about the structure of that team, this year's team, compared to last year.
I would say last year's team, we probably didn't have, 5 players on the floor that actually could score. They could score, but they didn't consistently do it. These players have consistently have done it. And I think our offense was probably a lot more, our individual offense, it was a lot more better this year versus last year. Last year was more of a team. We were able to, a core group of our players were together, so they really understood, the pecking order of how we want to, put people in positions to score. This team, it took a while for our defense to connect. But that's probably normal when you have, so many players playing out of the roles that they played previous to this particular season. But we do have a lot more people that can score the ball, even coming off the bench. So it's something that we really haven't played our best basketball yet, and I hope it's coming.
In the front, I'm gonna say Zoe, yes? Yes.
Hey, Coach Staley. It was a high turnover night for both teams. What is it about Texas's defense that, especially the press, that makes it difficult to start the offense and to run it?
Yeah, they're disruptive. They dictate. They make it hard for you to catch. They're man-to-man press. They top you. They make you make the perfect pass for 40 minutes. I didn't think they were going to press us as much as they did, because they alleviated some of that pressure when we played them the first time, but they just kept on, and we were very, very bothered by it. And could we have done a better job at being more prepared? But I don't even think if we just worked on a press breaker, if that would have been it. You have to be able to just make plays in that moment, because they take away your first and your second option. So you got to get a little bit deeper into what you're doing and stay poised. And we weren't that, but we made enough plays to get the ball in bounds.
In the back on the left, I'm gonna say Riley, but I might be wrong.
Avery.
I did the shot.
It's good. Okay, going back to growing pains, and you probably know more than any of us how much of this game is on the mental side. How do you prepare players for when they're in those valleys mentally?
One is I believe the more mentally prepared individuals are, bad plays don't bother them long, right? So we have somebody probably like Medina is going through it mentally. It's physically, look at her. She is, female Adonis, right? But if anybody wants to do a study on it, just seeing her, and we just talked to her about next play. You got to keep repeating it, next play. And I told them in the beginning of the game, no matter what the game looks like, right? You turn the ball over, you take a rush shot, you miss, whatever it is, I yell at you, next play. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All these things are going to happen in the game. And we just keep saying it. And I'm going to say, I said it after the game, once you don't wallow in it, find your way out of it, fight your way out of it. And she got great teammates, that's constantly talking to her. But until she gets there for herself, we got to continue to support her. And once she does, I think we're going to be a better team. But she also needs to see, even while she's going through it, we're still winning basketball games.
In the back on the right, Claire, and then Lulu's gonna wrap us up.
Coach, how much do you value the experience for your newcomers of playing against the pace and press that Texas brought, especially in the first quarter? And what do you hope they take away from this game in that front?
Well, we watched them. Half of this team has played against Texas's pressure. And as much as you can work on it, you still have to get open. The hardest part is inbounding the ball. Because once you inbound the ball, it's not as much pressure bringing the ball up the floor. And then there's more pressure when you're in your half-court set. So I think for us, what we worked was just simplifying what we do. Dribble entries, double drags, all those things our players knew we were going to be in, because they were going to make it very difficult for us to catch it on the wing. It's good to experience it, because the next time maybe we won't have as many turnovers. But I thought we executed. Like, we threw some long balls. That's what we wanted to do, to see if even that would alleviate the pressure. It never did. They wanted to win. They knew how important this game was, and so did we. And it was a knockout, drag-out. It was as advertised.
You've gone on the record saying that you don't treat freshmen like freshmen, and it felt like Agat McKeer really lived up to that tonight. Just your assessment on her performance, and then also your assistants and managers had some nice shirts on today, I guess. Your thoughts on those as well?
Gotti. I mean, Gotti is slowly getting to the point. It's just, she's reliable, and that's, if you can say that about a freshman, that's a big word to say when it comes to a freshman. But she's been through some things. She's gotten experience, like really great game experience. We could have probably gotten here a little bit sooner, but she's been in and out of the lineup, in and out on the injured reserve. So I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her because probably maybe a month or two ago, she probably thought she would never play. And then when you think you're never going to play, then, something else enters the brain. But happy for her, Didn't play a whole lot, but the time that she was on the floor, she really made it impactful. And I think it was a charge. She took a charge. That was her first charge that she's taken, and she wanted it. She wanted it for our team.
Thank you. Do you want to
Thank
comment
you.
on the shirts?
Oh, the shirts. So it's he's a vendor. He's starting his business, and I bought some shirts for him, and I didn't really want to give them out because it's my face on the shirts, but they're cool shirts. Like, we did a collab, and I just supported him in that way, and I thought it would be great to give them to our staff and whoever else we could give them out to. That's it.
Thank you, Coach.
I told him, though. I told him this. I said, we wear these shirts. You got to restock. Like, you got to restock because our Gamecock Nation is real. It's real. So, thank you.